moved from Cincinnati to Boston, and we miss you dearly, Jack. And he's actually recently started streaming.
Yeah.
He streams. He's been streaming Cube quite a bit, and yeah, he drafts some nice decks. He knows what he likes as a person, as a Magic player.
So from what we understand here, now we just got the deck lists in front of us, so we can actually confirm this. What is going on in this list?
All right, so Jack likes playing lots of colors, as he leads off with the Hallowed Fountain. There's 2 of them. The other 2 are red and green, although there are no stomping grounds to be seen.
So both players leading off with a recently reprinted Shocklands.
Yeah. And
there's a Clifftop Retreat for Jack. So Jack has access to red, white, and blue right now, both players.
So he could be on the... Basically, a lot of Jack's deck draws some parallels from Todd Anderson's winning deck list from last week. So John Catacombs from John has to give Jack some pause, like, what the heck is going on here, type of thing.
Yeah. So we have an Azorius Charm from Jack at the end of turn, just to cycle, and it gets negate from John Guy.
So if John knew what was going on, if John put Jack on some slow, dirtily deck, John would have definitely saved his negate.
Yeah, save your negate for something.
How many negates does John have?
It looks like John has 2 main deck negates. So
okay, what's in John's deck? We see Bug Delver on the top.
Well, of course, Delver of Secrets, and then we've got Snapcaster Mage, and then the newly printed Deathrite Shaman.
Probably the most impressive, well, one of the impressive cards from my deck from last week.
And we'll talk about that in a bit too. So now Jack
just
plays his 4th land,
the Jace.
Plays Jace, Architect of Thought. And now
we
have
old school Syncopate. That is from Odyssey, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Syncopate, recently reprinted, and there to take out Jack's turn 4 Jace, Architect of Thought.
So is it weird that every time John just do a flip card?
There is.
Every time I see that, I always think it's a Who, What, Why, Where, When from Unhinged.
John Guy plays Delver of Secrets behind his lands there.
Oh, no.
He's a lands in front kind of guy in the Paulo Vitor Damarosa school of board
like,
position.
That's like an act of treason for some people.
It is.
I could care less. I don't let...
Or threaten.
Such menial things bother me. So, other than Syncopate, Negate, and Delver of Secrets, what's in John's deck? What can we look to see?
As I mentioned, Snapcaster and Deathrite Chomp, and that rounds out the creatures. He's got 3 copies of Jace, Architect of Thought of his own.
Okay.
And 3 of the other new Planeswalker on the block, Vraska the Unseen.
Ooh.
He's got 3 Syncopates, 3 Abrupt Decay, 3 Golgari Charm, 3 Thought Scour, 3 Cyclonic Rift. He is a fan of the 3 of. 2 Appetite for Brains and 1 Duress. So there's 3 1-mana discard spells, 2 Negate, and 1 Temporal Mastery. So interesting list. Yeah. So,
all right, so Jax took 2 from my Hallowed Fountain to make it untapped, so he could have 5 mana for Papa Thragtusk. We'll be seeing that card quite a bit today, tomorrow, and for all of eternity. So
yeah, probably not all of eternity, but for
all of Standard
for a while, at least until next October.
Until they ban it.
Yeah. So just a note here. We just got word that John mulliganed to 6. So
Thragtusk is in. I don't want to. I think I'd rather be the guy with a Thragtusk in play than the guy with the Delver of Secrets in play.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Especially because I believe John missed a land drop.
Yeah, I think John's.
Jack's on the play. Found it.
Does not flip Delver.
Doesn't flip Delver. Probably just drew the swamp.
Yeah, exactly. It's.
Doesn't have a play on his 4 mana, so. So I'm looking at John's deck list.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have anything against Thragtusk.
Yeah, nothing great to deal with it at all. He's basically.
He can kill it with Vraska. Or he's going to regenerate. He's going to use the regenerate mode on Golgari Charm here to gain himself 5 life effectively.
Yeah, so that's a block regenerate from John Guy.
Tap, but yeah, okay.
There it is. Okay.
There we go. But yeah,
he'd much rather have flipped the insectile aberration than blocked the regenerate.
Yes, I would have preferred to flip the Delver, so you get more than gain 5 basically.
Yeah. So negate on top. There's that second negate from John Guy, and that will flip the Delver.
That's a very good draw from Jack. Don't think, yeah. Jack doesn't have him, but if he had Thought Scour, that would be a perfect time to Thought Scour your opponent.
Right after he's revealed the negate.
After reveals the negate, but before they draw it.
Exactly.
But unfortunately for Jack, Jack does not have that capability.
So John Guy, after flipping his Delver, passes back, leaving the insectile aberration back to block. I'm fine with that if I'm Jack. Like I'll deal with your Delver and I'll get a 3/3 out of it.
So that's a.
So Jack swings in with Thrag Tusk.
I see. I think Jack has a Pillar of Flame.
You think he should have just got it out of the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he had the Pillar, I can see that. Just clear
he has a red card, and it's the only red card in his deck.
Yeah, there it is. I see it.
Yeah.
It's also
so
looks like
Jack
he's got
has
Terminus, Azorius Charm.
Jack needs to make a Beast, I believe. Hopefully.
There it is.
There
He may have been waiting on a token. So it looks like
he's
double
two,
Terminus.
Yeah, 2 Terminus, Pillar, and
Azorius Charm. And there we have an Abrupt Decay from John Guy, another new card from Return to Ravnica making an appearance, and the board is once again clear. Jack Grannan with 4 colors out of his 6 lands. John Guy
3 colors out of
3
his 4
colors
lands.
out of his 4 lands. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think. Okay, so John has Vraska as a 5-mana card.
Yeah, and as his 4-mana card, there we see.
That's gonna.
Jace, Architect of Thought.
I think, Jack needs to cycle this.
So Azorius Charm out of Jack Grannan. Cycle, try to find an answer here. Draws Syncopate, which is the card he wanted to draw with the new art. And
he's not as cool as John.
No, well, I think the new art's much better.
But some people are of the theory that the older the card,
the better. It's more pimp.
Man,
I guess.
And
Jack with the top decks here.
Tameo the Moon Sage coming down.
Yeah, he sets up his lands there. I think we're gonna see a Tameo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Socks with sandals.
Yeah. Jack is famous for running perfect.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean,
this is a pretty.
Heard the story last night about how he got his job here in Boston.
Yeah. Basically, Jack was able to. He moved for his girlfriend is starting med school, and Jack's just like, hey, do you have any? His company just happened to have a position up in Boston
where he can work from home. Right?
Yes.
Like, not only does he have a job, but like, also it's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Like, so
unless John can find a Vraska soon, I think this Tameo is going to carry the day. Maybe a Snapcaster Mage might be able to harass it, but other than that, I don't see.
What did he tap?
He tapped a Drowned Catacombs on the bottom.
Yeah, so what did he play? What's it tapped for? We have a glare on the graveyard, so having trouble seeing. Oh, I'm sorry. Jack tapped it. Never mind. I'm thinking John tapped it.
No.
Tameo continues to tick up, this time tapping a Hinterland Harbor.
Jack to a blue card, I believe, is Snapcaster Mage, so there goes the harassment of. Then again, like, if those Snapcaster Mages can flashback negate, that'd be great for John. As Jack tries to take it up to 7, realizing that there's no 7 on a 6-sided dice.
Cold reality.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Alright, so I think we're gonna get a naked Snapcaster Mage, yeah.
Yeah, there it is, Snapcaster Mage.
You gotta do something. It's not what you like to do, but you gotta do something.
You gotta keep that Tameo off of Ultimate, and
right.
it's getting up there at this point, so.
Yep.
John draws, couldn't
I believe
quite
in
see.
Overgrown Tomb.
Yeah, thought it looked landish to me.
Yeah.
As opposed to outlandish.
Or spellish, as
Yeah, there's the overgrown.
See, I don't like the naked Snapcaster if John has a Vraska in his hand.
Yeah, he did.
I believe he does. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna go Vraska, and
that's gonna resolve because Jack still has Pillar,
Terminus.
Pillar, Terminus.
So Vraska resolves, and looks like Tamiyo going the way of the graveyard.
Well, looks like Jack saving his Pillar Flame is gonna allow him to do some work here.
Would have been nice.
Going to be able to Pillar Flame the Vraska. Granted, that's a... Okay, so one card we haven't mentioned in Jack's deck. He has a Restoration Angel in his deck.
There's that Pillar of Flame. Kill your Vraska.
So yeah, Jack has 2 Terminus and now a Restoration Angel. He doesn't have a lot of targets, but Restoration Angel is a 3/4 flyer.
Yeah.
And he has his creature suite is the 4 Thragtusks and
3 Restoration Angel
and 2 Angel of Serenity.
Yeah, another big one from.
He can't blink it, but it's so really the only creature that Jack can blink is
Thragtusk or
it's Thragtusk. Yes.
Yeah, Thragtusk.
Because it's the non-angel.
No Snapcasters in Jack's deck.
Correct. He did have them last night.
Yeah.
I don't like the main phase. I would have tried to ambush the Snapcaster.
Yeah,
main.
so would I. I don't think there's any reason to have played it there. Main phase.
Here comes another
no advantage.
Yeah,
and
that makes it even worse.
Vraska makes quick work of the Restoration Angel, and again, John Guy on the offensive with the Snapcaster Mage, knocking Jack now to below 20. Jack draws, looks not a miracle, but I believe it was Detention Sphere. And
that's
that
Detention
will take
Sphere.
care
That's
of the Vraska. And it'll take care of every Vraska on the battlefield. And
all of them.
All of them. Oblivion Pulse.
You have to, is the name.
Putting the dunce cap on Vraska, make her sit in the corner.
The one situation where John's deck is like very, very good against Detention Sphere. He has, not only does he have Abrupt Decay, he also has Golgari Charm to take care of the Detention Spheres. So if he has that, he's going to Snapcaster.
He's just going to Snapcaster,
sure.
Either Snapcaster or Abrupt Decay, either one, like you said. Snapcaster, Abrupt Decay, your Detention Sphere, get my Vraska back.
Alright, tick up to the... I actually do not like Vraska the Unseen as a card.
I'm not a fan either.
It's -3. It's only one ability, basically. And it's -3.
Yeah, it's pretty much... +1 is just like Dirtle.
Yeah,
do absolutely nothing.
Right. I believe we're going to see a Terminus from Captain Jack.
And there it is. Put those Snapcasters on the bottom.
Oh,
John has that other negate, which Jack was aware of because it flipped the Delver.
That's actually really good for Jack because he has another Terminus.
Yeah.
And his Terminuses weren't doing much.
Right.
So being able to trade 1 for negate and 4 damage is fantastic for Jack. So if we look at counterspells left in John's deck, we have 2 Syncopates basically.
Yeah, that's it.
I suppose 2 Appetite for Brains and 1 Duress could...
It's kind of like the preemptive counterspell.
Yeah.
And there we have a tick up from Vraska and double Snapcaster into the red zone.
Are we threatening Captain's Call yet?
Yeah. Getting there.
That's what I call Vraska. Nobody
ever is Captain's Call.
Yeah. Nobody ever hits with the Phage tokens, if you will.
Yeah, basically little Phage tokens.
So I'd be interested to see if Jack wants to play his Terminus now. May take a little extra damage. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, he's at 13 right now. It's really not at all scary for him right now.
See if he can. See if John will captain's call here.
Yeah, he has the opportunity to trade his Vraska for 3 1/1s.
Yeah.
Giving Jack the opportunity to clear the board with a Terminus.
Right.
Let's see.
Oh no, this could be bad.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh no, it's a Delver. Did you think it was going to be an Appetite for a Brains or a
sure
Duress?
Did.
Right. He's like, oh no.
Hey, okay, so he's ticking it up. So he's basically getting Jack to the point where he has to Terminus, and then John can captain's call.
So an Azorius Charm cycled for a second Azorius Charm. I'm thinking we're going to see that one cycled too. 1, 2.
He's going to cycle 1. I think that's all of the Azorius Charms.
Is that 3? Or all 4? Was it? I know 1 got countered.
Okay, it might be
2
3
cycled.
Yeah.
I don't remember the.
But there are 4.
4th, yeah. So didn't quite see what he drew. Was it a land?
Evolving Wilds and Chromatic Lantern.
Chromatic Lantern, another new card from Return to Ravnica. This one's the wannabe Coalition Relic.
Right. I feel like Jack's mana is pretty solid, but he's just like ensuring it's also a ramp spell.
Yeah, for sure.
He only has, I believe, like 8 green sources in his deck, so he can't rely on Farseek to ramp him, which would be the better spell. But if you can't cast it, it's not going to ramp you.
There's that sphere. And looks like.
What do we got here?
John wants to do something about that. Is he going to syncopate the sphere? I think I'm fine with that trade if I'm Jack, because the sphere isn't really that big of a deal. I mean, I think Jack wanted to probably Terminus there, but I didn't know he had a Thragtusk, so.
Wow, that's
a pretty nice turn of events for Jack. Yeah. Play my kind of do nothing right now. Get it syncopated, trade it for syncopate, and then play my Thragtusk.
Yeah, it's one thing if like even then, like John could just like could have made 3 guys last turn, syncopated the Wrath, and then killed Jack very easily.
Yeah.
Like Jack would have needed 2 mass removal spells. I would have traded my John had the syncopate. If I was John, I would have definitely just gone for the
go
tokens.
For the kill. Right.
Yeah.
Because you, instead of ticking up Vraska, you actually get the 3 dudes. Jack has to Terminus.
Right.
You have a counter spell.
You can counter said Terminus.
Yeah. So
the only thing you might worry about is a Supreme Verdict.
Sure.
Since that cannot be countered.
Exactly.
But even then, I would not want to wait. I would not want to use a syncopate on something that. And
it's kind of innocuous as a chromatic sphere.
Yeah.
Or Chromatic Lantern. I think we've repeatedly called it Chromatic Sphere. I don't know. Chromatic Lantern.
Well, we have Chromatic Lantern and Detention Sphere. If you call it something Detention
Lantern, when are we getting that?
Then we'll. That's in Gatecrash.
There's the
spoiler alert.
There's Vraska's Ultimate.
All right, so.
And there's the Assassins.
Oh man, I've never seen an assassin in play.
Yeah, well, now there's 3 of them. So there you see Vraska. That's some nice artwork. I like her artwork better than I like her abilities.
Me too. To be fair, like -3 destroy a non-land permanent is a very good ability.
Right. It's a 5 mana Vindicate, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's basically what we're looking at.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like that's.
And sometimes you can gain 2 life. You know, sometimes you get another use of it.
Yeah, I guess.
So Jack's going to Terminus here and get a 3/3 beast out of First Trouble. Man. I think John's wishing he had a syncopate.
Yeah, he's completely untapped right now, and could certainly have syncopated that Terminus if he had the syncopate, but not available. So, John Guy with a Vraska, Jack Grannan with a 3/3 beast token.
And I think both of them are going to be without either one of them fairly soon.
Vraska's going to say, I'm just going to hang out over here and tick up.
Here comes a 1-mana spell, Thought Scour.
Thought Scour targeting Jack, it looks like. And that resolves hits Cyclonic Rift and a land.
So, a story about thought scouring your opponent. At Origins earlier this year, in a top 8 match, Mark's son was the victim of a thought scour. His opponent thought scoured him, so Mark peels over top 2 and then draws a card for himself, and then got a game loss.
Yeah, that was.
Was that?
Did he just draw? What did he draw?
Angel of Serenity.
Oh, nice.
That is huge game.
And Abrupt Decay on the Beast.
All right, so I believe John is empty-handed now.
Yeah, he is.
All right, and Jack Grannan has Angel of Serenity. What a card! That card is. So this is like the best Muldrifter you've ever seen.
Yeah, Angel of Serenity cost white 4. It is a 5/6 flyer, right? A Mahamoti Djinn there. But it also has some other abilities. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile up to 3 other target creatures from the battlefield and/or creature cards from the graveyard, which is what Jack just did.
So so John didn't have any creatures of his own, so Jack just targeted the 2 creatures that were in his graveyard, so that when Angel dies, he'll get back a Restoration Angel and a Thragtusk.
Yeah, seems like a nice draw 3.
Unfortunately for Jack, he had Determinus, his other Thragtusk that he drew to the bottom.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still 2/3 value out of an Angel of Serenity seems pretty good. Angel of Serenity.
I'll take it.
This is the battle now of Alexi Briclot artwork. Now,
Nice.
Same artist on Vraska as Angel of Serenity.
Who do you think Alexi would root for?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Alexi even plays, so I don't know how.
Okay.
But if I'm the artist, if I'm like I did the artwork on both of these cards, I prefer the artwork on Angel. So I'm prouder of the artwork on Angel, I guess. I guess that makes sense. I just like that artwork better.
All right, so it's like we're taking up to ultimate number 2.
Yeah, so basically John Guy had the opportunity to trade his Vraska there for the Angel, but he doesn't really want to give Jack back the Thragtusk and the Restoration Angel.
That's a Planeswalker. I believe it is a Jace. And that's going to be probably crippling for John here.
So here we're going to probably see a little mini Factor Fiction if this Jace resolves.
I believe so.
I like the way Chapin kind of broke down Jace's ability. It's not, you don't get wow. Okay, so Jace, we're gonna talk about that in a sec. Jace ticks down, does the mini Factor Fiction. One of the cards is Angel of Serenity, one is Detention Sphere, and the other one is the land, it looks like.
Yeah.
So Jack's choice is not just between Angel and Detention Sphere and land, it's between Angel and Jace, or Detention Sphere, Detention Sphere, land, and Jace, which is in play, right?
Yeah.
You still have a Planeswalker in play. So I like the way that breaks down. So
Jack attacks Vraska, so basically suicides his own.
His Angel, trades his Angel for the Vraska, but draws, gets the Thragtusk and the...
Draws.
Yeah, draws, exactly.
Thragtusk.
Gets the Restoration Angel and Thragtusk back from the death of the Angel there. And John Guy in dire straits here, facing down a Planeswalker, a Thragtusk, and he knows Jack has 2 angels in his hand that are going to make life real difficult. Well,
different angels.
Exactly. He's got Restoration Angel and he's got Angel of Serenity. That Restoration Angel represents like another Thragtusk in a way, another 5 life and a beast. Jace ticks up. Jack plays land.
Yeah, just say go. No need.
Yes, after swinging with the Thragtusk.
Got an end-step Angel.
Yeah.
Restoration.
Jack is in great shape here, and now John plays Island. He's been
drawing and not playing them for like multiple turns here.
Yeah. I see at least another basic in his hand. And here we have Restoration Angel, end of turn. Cyclonic Rift on the Thragtusk will give Jack a beast. Basically,
it still doesn't stop him from lethal.
Yeah, at this point, it's still 6 damage on the board. So that's fine.
I would imagine like a Golgari Charm and Abrupt Decay, or more.
Did he just draw another
Restoration
Angel? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
So here comes 6. Here comes Lethal, and John scoops him up. So we're going to go to game 2 here between John Guy and Jack Grannan. It's a battle of... John Guy's list, it's a Bug Delver list, but it looked more like a control deck with Delver of Seagritch kind of thrown in. Is that?
I would agree with that, yeah.
Which kind of feels like I would rather just cut the Delvers and play more control. Like you're kind of... I don't know what Delver's really doing for you. Certainly didn't do much that game.
Yeah, assuming that you're want to operate on a relatively low land count, which is what John seems to want to do, then Delver's actually a good way to kill people, actually.
Yeah,
it's just so cheap and efficient. But like, if you're gonna try and go toe-to-toe with, the biggest stuff in the format, then you need something else.
Yeah, he plays 22 lands, so it's a fairly low land count for a control deck.
Right.
It just looked the way that game played out. It looked more like a control deck because we saw a lot of counter spells and removal spells. It was basically counters and removals and a couple of Delvers that really just chunked. Right. They didn't really do much.
I mean, he has like 6 Planeswalkers, which is very, very, very uncharacteristic of what we've known
as a Delver deck.
Delver decks. So, because I mean they're not additional threat. I mean, they are additional threats, I guess. So you could think of like John's threat base as his 11 creatures and 6 Planeswalkers.
Sure.
One card I wanted to see was Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah, we did not see that. There are 3 copies in the main deck for John, and did not come into play.
Right. One thing I would like to see in any Deathrite Shaman deck is either Evolving Wilds or Grizzly Salvage.
Sure.
I played both cards last week, and Deathrite Shaman was an excellent Birds of Paradise for me.
Yeah.
Especially with Grizzly Salvage, I never had a lack of things to.
Nice.
You rarely do have a lot. Like he has John has Thought Scours to help him out, but you could definitely run out of things to remove.
Yeah, in this case, he's got 3 copies of Thought Scour, but nothing else fueling lands in the graveyard. For John. So looking at the sideboards here.
What do you like from John?
Well, John's got Pithing Needles, but he basically can bring that in for Tamiyo. He's only seen 1, and there is only 1.
That's all Jack has.
Deck. Right, exactly. So bringing in the Pithing Needles for Tamiyo, it seems like Jack wins on that exchange. Yeah. He may be expecting, because he saw the Terminuses, he may be expecting Entreat the Angels. Entreat the Angels not in Jack's deck.
Yep, that's true.
So, I don't know if he's expecting
One could guess that once you see like a card like Angel of Serenity, you can
maybe no Entreat.
Assume that no Entreat, like usually you don't have both because they both do the same thing.
Yeah.
And you don't need a bunch of that type of effect.
Right. Yeah, he's just got to guess now at what Jack's playing because he's seen basically 3 different decks shuffled together. And
speaking of 3 different decks, we have a very Jack Grannan sideboard here.
Yeah.
These are all cards Jack likes. There's 2 copies of Dissipate, 2 copies of Clone.
Clone, like not Phantasmal Image because that would be bad.
That would be
very bad.
Jack knows what cards are legal. And there's also 2 copies of Ray of Revelation. And then there are 9 1-ofs.
Nice. So run them down for us.
All right. So cards that I could see Jack siding in his Daybreak Ranger for the Delvers.
That's Brian Kibler likes that card from what I remember.
I'm not sure what this one's for, but there's a Mercurial Chemister.
Wow, that's that new Is It guy, right?
Yeah, he's 5 mana. He taps to draw a bunch of cards and taps to like shoot stuff, and he does it all.
That's interesting. I would love to see that come in.
Tree of Redemption. Yeah. I don't think that one's coming in.
No, but Tree of Redemption. That's another one that interesting choice.
How about Alchemist's Refuge?
Alchemist Refuge. That's the give everything flash, right? Give my spells flash.
For when you want an extra land, and he already has his Desolate Lighthouse in his main.
Nice. Okay.
So whenever you want an extra
land. That's the one that nobody ever plays, right?
Yeah.
Except Jack Grannan, apparently. Yeah.
He does. So we were talking about cube stories for Jack. Jack, his opponent's at 8. So what kind of common things that deal 8 damage? And how high would equipping Skull Clamp to Gristlebrand be on that list? And then I personally watched this game. I just saw the screenshot of the Gristlebrand game, but I personally watched Jack. He had a Liliana of the Dark Realms in his deck, but only 3 swamps. So he'd get his swamps and then scroll rack them back into his deck, so he could get them again.
Yeah, that's value.
Yeah. And then he, with his 2 mountains, Jack decided that to activate Cloth of the Hammer and +1 it, and then activate Liliana of the Dark Realms for +3 to finish off his opponent. So if you see somebody activate their Liliana on their animated mountain, you have Jack Grannan to thank.
So here's an interesting card in John Guy's sideboard, Curse of Echoes, which is from Avacyn Restored. I'm sorry, Dark Ascension, and it's enchant player. Whenever enchanted player casts an instant or sorcery spell, each other player may copy that spell and choose new targets for the copy. That's one that we don't ever see, you know.
Okay, so back in the day, this was like a card. You could tell that John's been around the block.
Yeah.
Well, he's playing he has his Odyssey Syncopates.
Right, right.
And now this.
Both players now hitting their land drops here in game 2 of round 1, and John plays Thoughtscour targeting Jack, hits Jack's Evolving Wilds, and I'm not sure what that other card, but it looks like Jace. Yeah. So nice hit off the Thoughtscour.
Back to Curse of Echoes. Basically, it makes counter spells blank.
Yeah.
It blanks your opponent's counter spells.
Very interesting.
If you're even their Thoughtscours and stuff, or their Cycled Azorius Charms.
Another Thoughtscour, and we see Zealous Conscript and a Azorius Charm hit the board. Sorry, the graveyard. I'm sorry.
Oh, so I like Jack's play here. He brought in his Zealous Conscripts to make his opponent's Vraskas suicide themselves.
Yeah, I like it. How many Zealous? He just has
obviously
one, though.
One.
Yeah, so that's gone.
Yeah.
But Delver of Secrets from John Guy and passes back to Jack. Jack taps 3, and there's a Chromatic Lantern. Passes back to John Guy.
No, Pillar of Flame from Jack to
will the Delver flip? And it looks like a no. Land on top, I think, for John Guy.
How many spells does John have?
21 instants and sorceries, it looks like to me.
That's a good number to flip.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
I've always liked, I've done a lot of math on Augur Bolts on what I'm comfortable with. And I'm comfortable with its fail rate as long as I can have 22 spells.
Yeah.
So 21's good enough to flip Delver because you're not going to miss.
Right.
Forever. With Augur, you only get 1 shot.
So John uses Cyclonic Rift on Chromatic Lantern, passes back to Jack after beating in with a Delver for 1, and Jack now plays Jace, Architect of Thought, and that will blank the Delver if it doesn't flip for the moment. We're going to see
if it does.
It'll make it a little less threatening, and it doesn't flip, so that's...
There's a second Delver. Unless John has another flip. I don't think he has another flip card. Another Who, What, Why, Where, When 15 split card.
Oh, yeah.
Flip card. Pithing Needle comes
Yeah,
down.
I was like, what is that?
I thought I would have sworn this was a Saviors of Kamigawa or Pithing Needle, but apparently John's not that old school.
He's got the old school Syncopates, but the new school Needles.
Yeah.
And Delver attacking. Jack says it gets -1, -0. And nothing there for Delver to hit, or nothing. No power on that Delver.
Yeah.
Now John has named Jace with the needle, obviously.
Jack draws an Angel Serenity, but the Lantern's coming back down, and I believe. So this Chromatic Lantern is actually doing quite a bit of work because Jack only has 1 source of white mana, so the Chromatic Lantern is actually going to provide 2 sources of white for the Angel, and that is a Golgari Charm
and Abrupt Decay. So that flips both Delvers. John had added a second Delver to the board, and now the momentum is on John's side of the board for the moment.
No.
Abrupt Decay on the Lantern is going to...
That's big for two reasons. One stops him off Angel, and Jack also has 2 copies of Azorius Charm.
Exactly, yeah.
That would...
one of which would have hit one of those Delvers, I think.
Yeah. So it takes him off the 2 mana for this turn.
Yeah. So Jack
an excellent draw. Well,
takes a big hit from Delver. A double Delver. So he does have the 6th land.
So Jack's just going to main phase out a Restoration Angel, hopefully to just block the Delver of Secrets, which is actually like a very big thing for Jack. John doesn't have too many ways to actually punch through a 3/4. I mean, he's got Cyclonic Rift to bounce it, to generate some tempo. But
what is it? Is that a Sulphur Falls under the Hinterland Harbor?
It is.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Jack only has 1 white mana source,
yeah,
so
just,
he cannot hold
sure.
up. Yeah, he cannot hold up
the Azorius Charm.
Yeah. So that peeled Abrupt Decay. Not only flipped both Delvers. Oh man, here they come.
And yeah.
So
another 6 coming.
What do you think this might
way.
mean? I think this means a Golgari Charm post combat to -1 everything. So he's willing to trade 2 for 1.
No, or maybe yeah. Here's land, and it looks like
he
a
just
go,
wanted 3
so,
damage.
Yeah, he just threw one of his Delvers into the reach of that Angel.
Yeah.
Just to get the other one through.
Yeah.
And,
with Jack at 10 life, and because that's all of his offense.
And there's land number 7, white source number 2 for Jack. Still keeps him off Angel, but he does have 2 cyclers in his hand.
I'm not sure I would have taken 2 for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why unless he just really wants to act. He wants to
double.
cycle his cycle 1 and use the other one on the Delver.
If necessary, yeah. Oh wow, that's crazy. John's 5th land comes into play tapped.
Wow, yeah, you're right. There are
all of his lands have come into play tapped this game.
They're all buddy lands, but none of them have any buddies.
I like that. The buddy lands. I just call them M10 lands.
Yeah, the core duels. That's what I used to call them. But Ruben told me somebody was calling them buddy lands.
Yeah, that's much better.
That seems to be a good one. So
all right,
that's
looks like
one
we
that
drew a Detention Sphere for Jack Grannan, and then a cycled Azorius Charm. I have a feeling Jack's just going to be cycling every Azorius Charm he draws.
He draws another white source, and this one will come into play untapped because Hallowed Fountain is a Plains. It's a Clifftop Retreat there. Sulphur Falls.
Pillar the Delver, or the Insectile Aberration now.
Yep. That is exiled. Jack seems to have stabilized here. That Jace is looking pretty fancy, but it's actually doing very little with the Pithing Needle.
For the time being, I believe it's about to do something.
And there we see a Detention Sphere from Jack now. Targets the Pithing Needle. So it has resolved. You don't choose to target until it has resolved.
Yeah.
And
you'll put from Jack not passing priority before he mini Factor Fictions. If he would do something like attack first.
Yeah.
In combat, John could have Abrupt Decayed.
Yeah, and then named the Jace again.
Yeah.
So Jack uses Mini Factor Fiction and gets a Thrag Tusk off the top of his deck. Mm-hmm. And now things are looking grim for John. He is down a game here in Game 2 of Round 1. Here at the Star City Games Open Series in Providence.
You know what that...
Facing down a Jace, Architect of Thought, and a Restoration Angel on Jack's side of the board.
What side is that island from?
Kamigawa.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Pretty sure it's Kamigawa Island.
It's a good looking island.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I don't like the ones that are so fantasy looking. You know, like where do you see an island like that in the real world?
Yeah.
I like the ones that look more real life island. So Vraska comes down for John to take care of that Jace, and John has potentially
He's gonna lose his Vraska to a Restoration Angel attack.
Gotten back into the game, yeah. But that's a fine trade. He just got to Vindicate and 3 life out of it.
Correct.
That's fine. Thragtusk for Jack.
Thragtusk is coming down, yeah.
Attention players in Standard Open, that is time in round 1. Time has elapsed in round 1. Active player, please finish the turn. Then play 5 additional turns. Please call a judge if you require assistance.
I think time is called for the normal players, but as you can see, these players still have 10 minutes and 30 seconds or so left. So
yeah, our timer that you guys are seeing represents the time for this match only.
Right. You may have heard the loudspeakers say that it was time for the round.
Jace, Architect of Thought from John Guy.
Yeah, he needs to find something.
Finds Jace, Cyclonic Rift, and Island.
How would you split these?
I think
this is actually John's splits for Jack have been very easy because Jack just had a ton of lands.
Right. I think I split the other way.
You put the Island with the Jace?
Or yeah, you know what? No, I think I split the way Jack just did.
I would split the way you initially said. John has 6 lands, so a 7th land lets him overload the Cyclonic Rift.
So, good point. Yeah, that's very good. I actually like that.
Even though Jace is the better card, he's got enough lands to do what he wants to with Jace.
My first impression was like he has a Jace. Giving another Jace gives him a dead card, so I was going to put Jace land. That was what I was thinking there. I wasn't thinking about the overload on the Cyclonic Rift. So, but you know, I'm thinking, well, I guess I'd rather him. I'd rather him like take the Cyclonic Rift because like what's he gonna? He's gonna bounce to one of my creatures that is fine. He's not gonna bounce. Well, I guess he could bounce the detention sphere, but that seems bad because he's just gonna put it on the Jace. Yeah. He gets a needle, and
he also has a second needle in his hand, not doing anything.
Yeah. So basically, I wasn't too worried about him having the Cyclonic Rift at that point. So I'm like,
neither
really,
card
that
is
wasn't
particularly threatening.
Yeah. I didn't think about the overload.
I wonder where Jack sent his attacks. Because he knows he has a Rift. If he just sent, 1 at the Jace, John could Rift non-overloaded and then get another activation out of his Jace, if he so desired.
Yeah, it looks like... Not clear exactly which creature, how Jack attacked there.
Based on this Rift,
you think one attacks Jace?
I think the Angel attacks Jace and the Thragtusk attacks John. We'll see. I believe that's the case since they're going to life pads and Jace is still in play.
Yeah, it seems reasonable. Seems like a reasonable assumption. And hey, look, a Restoration Angel.
That's like synergy.
Blink the Thragtusk.
That's so good.
Gain 5. Get a beast. It's like Cruel Ultimatum. You know what I mean? It's like, what do I gotta do?
Yeah, effectively.
I do this, I do this, do this. Did you do that?
It's a creature ultimatum.
Yeah.
You get it all.
Yeah,
you just get
that way.
Giant...
4 mana creature ultimatum. You just need a Thragtusk on the board, and it's a 4 mana Cruel Ultimatum kind of.
So after creature ultimatum, John's looking for some answers. Jace is going to find those answers in the form of negate, Vraska, and sever the bloodline. It's another good. That's a good.
Yeah, that's a good group of cards. 4 mana removal, 5 mana removal, counterspell.
Yeah, this is. How would you split these? This one's a tough one.
It is tough. Yeah, it's.
Jack's got all the tough decisions.
Yeah, seriously. I think I split them like that.
Okay.
He takes the Vraska. Yeah. I also. Here's the thing.
I would have, if I was John, I would take whatever 2-card pile.
I would have taken exactly. If I was John, I would have taken the 2 cards. But I think if I'm Jack, I give him the option.
It's more difficult for Jack, I believe. I think John took the wrong pile. But if I were Jack, splitting the piles is tough.
Yeah, I would have split the way Jack did because I would have thought John might take the Vraska because he's playing 3 copies of Vraska.
Well,
not that Jack knows that, but what I'm saying, he's seen Vraska several times.
Yeah.
He knows John likes Vraska, and I just don't think Vraska's that good. So I'm he's
really
going to take
bad
Vraska. I'll give him Vraska and let him and 2 cards. I think my opponent's going to take Vraska.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? That's the thing. Like so basically like give him the 5 mana removal that he's more likely to take. So Azorius Charm cycles for Jack there.
It draws him a Thrag Tusk. No big deal.
Yeah, that's after Vraska comes down to take out the Angel. So now,
you might as well kill Vraska here. But if he wants to kill the token, yeah, that's fine. So basically, Jack's plan should be to just ignore Vraska for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I believe we're going to see an enormous Mole Drifter here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Just
Wrong
kidding.
card. And Angel of Serenity comes down for Jack Grannan.
It's Restoration Angel. Oh, baby.
Oh, Zealous Conscripts. Yeah, this is looking pretty spicy here. So now, if John deals with that Angel, which he kind of needs to, considering he's at 10.
Yeah, it's a 5/6.
It's a 5/6. Jack's going to have the opportunity to have he's going to have a Zealous Conscripts in hand, which potentially gives him the opportunity to steal Vraska right from John. So.
Oh man, the more I think about it, the more I love Zealous Conscripts as a one-of in Jack's deck.
It's pretty sweet there. Like, I mean, in this situation, it's great. So, if you think, all right, Jack's plan is, or if you're looking and you're going, okay, if he gets conscripts, steals my Vraska and suicides it to on itself.
Yeah.
Why don't I just not tick up Vraska? If I'm John, I might just leave it at 2 because that leaves it so that even if Jack steals it, it does nothing.
Right.
What's Jack gonna do? Tick it up? Steal it and take it up like that. So it makes the conscripts plan not great. So I'm just trying to think down the line. You need to deal with Angel. That's priority number 1.
You need to deal with Angel, the Thrag Tusk, and the 2 creatures under. The other sweet thing about Zealous Conscripts is that you could steal Vraska. Oh no, you could steal a creature. If John had a creature, you could steal a creature and then Restoration Angel that creature and keep it.
Keep it, yeah.
Not that I think the game will get to this point, but it's.
Yeah, these are all like branches on a tree that's still,
Yeah,
at this point we're looking. The main thing is there's a 5/6 and a 5/3, and you're at 10.
And yeah,
so you should.
This is not going well for John.
Yeah. So Snapcaster Mage, Cyclonic Rift. I guess I'll hit the Thrag Tusk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Leaving a beast, and John really just bought himself probably another turn.
Yeah, that's about it.
At this point, he can trade his Vraska for an Angel of Serenity if he wants.
And then Jackal Creature Ultimatum again with his Restoration Angel.
Yeah. Well, there's another Thrag Tusk from Jack. Not making things easy at all for John. 2.5 minutes left in the round, and
yeah. I can't imagine this going more than like 2 more turns.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, one of the cards that would have been pretty solid for John, is he just drew Deathrite Shaman. He'd be able to remove the creatures from Jack's graveyard.
Yeah.
So that, granted, I don't think John can kill Angel Serenity, outside of his Vraskas.
But it would have been a nice thing to have available if a little earlier.
Right.
Sort of make those angels into just expensive Mahamoti Djinns, right? So there's Vraska, trades for Angel, also gives Jack Grannan a Restoration Angel and a Zealous Conscripts.
Alright, the Deathrite Shaman comes down. Probably a little too late. I got Creature Ultimatum from Jack.
Yeah.
I like Creature Ultimatum.
Angel, yeah. There's Restoration Angel on a Thrag Tusk, and here comes a Syncopate.
Probably needed to tap more. I don't think either player realized that.
Yeah,
Jack
then he just spell pierced him when Jack had 2 lands up.
Yeah.
A 3-mana spell pierce.
Pillar Flame,
yeah,
I believe.
I mean, unless there's a land hiding, but it seems pretty clear that it's just 3 lands were tapped. But moving on, Jack now plays a Zealous Conscripts.
I would like to steal one of your creatures. Probably the Snapcaster Mage, since the other's getting pillared.
More power.
Pithing Needle and probably a card that does nothing.
I think this is the end for John Guy. I don't know what he can do here. He's about to lose one of his guys to Zealous Conscripts and the other one to Pillar of Flame. And even losing
something.
Oh, did he? Okay, never mind.
Oh,
was he thinking like he might steal a land and play Angel?
No. What I think happened is that
so he steals.
John announced Syncopate for 3, but only tap 3 lands, so the judge made him back up and.
Oh, tap another land. Okay, that's what that might be it. Okay, but in the meantime,
In the meantime, it
Jack
didn't
takes
matter.
Snapcaster and swings with everybody, and
Jack
enough.
With a Jack Grannan deck takes the match 2-0, goes to time.
Yeah, but
he wouldn't have it any other way.
I certainly enjoyed watching it. It's
great. His decks are great to watch.
So in the main deck, he's just got a couple one-ofs.